Warren Buffett once said that The Intelligent Investor is the greatest investing book ever written. He also admitted that reading it at just 19 years old completely changed the direction of his life. And honestly, I get why. When I read it, it permanently changed how I think about money, too. This book isn't about predicting the market. It doesn't promise secret tricks or overnight riches. Instead, it teaches you how to think about money, investing, and risk in a way that protects you, keeps you grounded, and actually helps you build real wealth over time. Today, I want to break down the 5 most powerful lessons from this book, the ones that can save you from painful mistakes, help you avoid dumb decisions, and finally show you what it really means to invest intelligently. Takeaway number 1, Mr. Market. Let's start with one of my favorite ideas in the entire book, and the one most people misunderstand completely. Imagine you own a small neighborhood coffee shop. Nothing fancy, but it's profitable, steady, and has loyal customers. You're happy with it. Now, imagine that every morning a strange neighbor shows up. Let's call him Mr. Market. Every day he storms in with a brand new offer to buy your shop. One day he says, "Coffee is booming. I'll give you $1 million." The next day he looks depressed. "Coffee is dead. I'll give you $50,000. Take it or leave it." The day after that, he's excited again. "Okay, fine, $700,000. And he does this every single day. Would you take him seriously? Of course not. You laugh. You'd ignore him. You'd tell him to come back when he's thinking clearly. But here's the weird part. When this same behavior happens in the stock market, people suddenly treat Mr. Market like a genius. Prices go up. Everyone feels smart. Prices go down. Everyone panics and sells. Why? Because the market looks official. It's on TV. It's on apps. It feels authoritative. Benjamin Graham's point is simple. Mr. Market is emotional, dramatic, and often wrong. He's driven by fear and greed, not logic. And you don't have to listen to him. You don't sell your coffee shop just because he's moody today. And you shouldn't dump good stocks just because the market is having a bad week. The smart move is to use Mr. Market's mood swings. When panic hits and prices drop, that's when real opportunities appear. When everyone is greedy and throwing money around, that's when you slow down. Think back to 2020. Amazing companies like Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon became much cheaper, not because their businesses broke, but because Mr. Market lost his mind. People who understood this didn't panic, they bought. That's why Graham said, the market is there to serve you, not to instruct you. Your job isn't to predict short-term prices. Your job is to understand value and act only when it makes sense. Takeaway number 2, stop speculating. This one is crucial. Investing and speculating are not the same thing, even though most people confuse them. Investing is calm, patient, and long-term. It's like buying a home you actually plan to live in. You inspect everything. You think long-term. Speculating is buying a house because someone told you prices are going to the moon. You don't know the value. You're just hoping to flip it to someone else. Real investing has 3 rules. You do proper research, you protect your capital, and you expect reasonable returns, not miracles. Most people think they're investing, but they're actually gambling. They chase hype, memes, headlines, and influencers instead of understanding the business. Ask yourself this. If someone offered you a piece of a restaurant you've never seen, don't know the owner of, and you don't even know if it makes money, would you buy it? Of course not. Yet people do this with stocks every day. Look at the dot-com bubble. Anything with .com exploded in price, even companies with 0 revenue. When reality hit, everything collapsed. Why? because people weren't investing, they were speculating. Graham's rule is simple. A stock is ownership in a real business. If you wouldn't want to own the whole company, why own even a tiny piece? Investing can be boring, but boring builds wealth. Speculation builds excitement right before it wipes you out. Takeaway number 3, margin of safety. This might be the most important lesson of all. Never pay full price, especially for stocks. No matter how smart you are, things can go wrong. Companies make mistakes, economies crash, markets panic. You need a buffer. Think of a bridge. If trucks weigh 10,000 pounds, you don't build the bridge to handle exactly 10,000. You build it for much more. That extra strength is the margin of safety. Same idea with investing. If you believe a stock is worth $50, you don't buy it at $50. You wait for $30 or less. That gap protects you. During 2008, amazing companies were selling at huge discounts, not because they were bad, but because fear took over. That's when Buffett went shopping. A great business at the wrong price is still a bad investment. If the price is too high, wait, be patient. Mr. Market will mess up again. He always does. As Buffett said, the stock market transfers money from the impatient to the patient. Takeaway number 4, pick a side. Graham says you must choose what kind of investor you are. You're either defensive or enterprising, no in between. Defensive investors keep it simple. They buy index funds, invest regularly, ignore noise, and let compounding work. Enterprising investors go deep. They analyze businesses, read financials, and put in serious effort. Both are fine, but mixing the two is dangerous. If you don't have the time or passion to analyze stocks deeply, stick to index funds. That's not weakness, it's smart. Trying to half invest, half gamble is how people lose money. Takeaway number 5, emotional discipline. This is the hardest part. Graham believed success in investing isn't about intelligence, it's about controlling emotions. Markets fall, people panic. Markets rise, people get greedy. History repeats this cycle over and over. Your job isn't to predict the future. It's to stay calm when others lose control. That's why systems matter. Dollar cost averaging, rebalancing, rules. When you have a plan, emotions don't control your decisions. These 5 ideas work together. Treat stocks like real businesses. Demand a margin of safety. Use Mr. Market. Don't follow him. Know what kind of investor you are. And most importantly, master your emotions. That's how investing becomes practical and sustainable.